This is how I produce so much content on TikTok. So I got a question earlier saying, can I recommend a post about how you come up with ideas, 3 to 5 ideas per day? I post a lot on TikTok and I actually shot a video a couple of weeks ago talking about how I've grown on TikTok. I've been here for about 4 weeks, taking it seriously, and we've grown to 40,000 followers in that time. Thanks mainly to a viral post that hit about 3 million views and brought me in a whole chunk of followers, and now it's become more sustainable after that. So I've been lucky. My main point in that video was that what I do is I put out a lot of content. Most of it will not do well, and that's fine, but every 5 to 10 videos or so I will have one that will kick off and I'll get 20, 30, 40, 50, 100,000 views on it, and that will bring me in a lot of followers. So the question here is obviously, well, how are you doing 3 to 5 videos per day? Training. I've got better at doing it. I started with this goal. All I can control is my output, how much time and effort I put into it, and how many videos I'm putting out every single day. I cannot control how many people are going to watch it. I cannot control the engagement. I cannot control the algorithm. So all I'm doing is just volume, and that has initially been extremely difficult. It required a lot of preparation, a lot of kind of getting over myself and just getting in front of the camera and talking, a lot of ums, a lot of ers, a lot of weird millennial pauses, but I've become better at all of that because I've just been delivering so much. I've even started to do lives. Previously I hated being on camera, and now I can do it. I'm fairly comfortable on it and will not be too much of a mess. So practice helps. The more you do, the better you're going to get at it, and the more able you are going to be able to shoot videos just off the cuff like this without having to edit, without having to press stop and start. It just becomes easier like any skill. However, if you're looking for specific places where I'm getting video ideas from, I've written down a few, so I'm going to revert to my little notebook. First is my newsletter. I write a newsletter every single day. It goes out to about 50,000 AI entrepreneurs, people who are interested in building businesses using AI. And because I am writing that newsletter, I'm always thinking, I'm always coming up with topics which I'm putting in my newsletter. I'm also turning them into tweets, I'm turning them into videos, so that I can preview what's going to be in the newsletter, but also just to help me think through it. I will create posts in and around the topics I'm covering that particular week. So because I'm creating in other formats, that gives me the ability to make short videos on the same topics, just using a different format, in this case, a short video. The second way I get ideas for my videos are questions. So this shouldn't be surprising because this is from a question. This is from warm_bread. Basically, when I get questions from people, instead of just answering it in the comments, I will also shoot videos like this because it allows me to instantly have a video idea. It allows me to answer that particular person's question, but chances are there's another 1,000 people, 10,000 people, 100,000 people who are also interested in the answer to that question. It's just one person's bothered to ask it and I've bothered to shoot a video. So questions are a great one. The great thing about this as well is when you shoot a video answering a question, more people will ask you questions, and then you shoot another video and then more people will ask you questions, and you get this cycle of potentially infinite content ideas. The third one for me is news. So I use a newsletter called The Rundown. Rundown AI is a really good AI newsletter. I will read that every morning. If you have been on one of my lives in the morning, I basically read the rundown live and chat to people and answer their questions. But anything that I've seen in the news, the AI news of the day, I will tend to turn it into a video if I think it's important enough. The fourth is inspiration from other platforms. So don't only spend your time on TikTok making content like other people on TikTok. I recommend you go over to Reddit. I recommend you go to Twitter. These are really good ones if you run a business and you want to tap into a particular niche and be able to talk authoritatively about it, because a lot of the experts are over there on Twitter and they're over there on Reddit. You'd think they're on LinkedIn, but LinkedIn's content is it's a mess. I don't enjoy LinkedIn. I don't know anyone who does. So I prefer Reddit and Twitter as my main places to find authoritative, exciting content, which I can then talk about in videos. So if you see a lot of my videos, I'll be pointing at a graph or something like that. A lot of the time that comes from a post that I've seen. I'll refer to it in the video itself, but all I'm doing is bringing that from another platform onto TikTok and making sure that it gets a bigger audience. And then a bonus one, this is optional, depends how open you want to be, but talking about your personal life. So it's things that are not necessarily connected, to what you're talking about, what you're teaching, what you are selling if you're running a business here on TikTok, but it's about your life and making you more of a kind of a rounded person. Because I think TikTok in particular, or all live video or all short video platforms, are really about the authentic personal brand. It's actually the person talking to you as if they were there with you, having a conversation over a cup of coffee or a beer. That's quite unique. So I think being able to round out your content with a little bit of personality. So for me, I might talk about board games, for example, or the fact that I've got a book and right now it's number 3 on Amazon. So I will talk about those kind of things, even if they're not specific to what I'm talking about at the moment. It will be about successes, it will be about failures, it will be about personal stories, or just kind of what's going on. I find that kind of rounds out the content mix. So again, newsletter or any other piece of creative work that you do, make sure you also talk about it in your short videos. Questions, when people ask you questions, answer using a video. News, so jump onto news trends. If something exciting has happened in your industry or your niche, make sure you're covering it and giving your opinions about it. Taking inspiration from other platforms or bringing posts from other platforms over onto TikTok and bringing them a new audience here. And then just talking about yourself and the things that you do, enjoy, your successes and failures as well. These are the 5 types of content that help me to have ideas on a daily basis. And again, wrapping all of this up is the fact that if you just do it a lot, you are going to become better at delivering, you're going to become better at talking, you're going to become better at coming up with ideas off the dome and being able to just talk and present and create more videos. So best of luck, Warm Bread, and to anyone else who is starting on their journey.